doing, partner?
Ex-partner.
Let me go, Max. Like, I'm not hurting anybody.
Good to take you back.
In the year 2004, time travel is a reality.
You are charged with violations of TEC Code 40.8, time travel with intent to alter the future.
And a crime.
It turns out going back in time is a pretty easy way to make money.
I think you got yourself a shipment of gold and you're taking to General Lee.
The genie is already out of the bottle. The technology is there.
Now, one man
You ever hear the name Aaron McComb?
is about to take the ultimate power trip.
He's gonna be president.
You don't need the press, you don't need endorsements, you don't even need the truth. You need money.
But to enforce the laws of time,
Are we still together in 10 years? Am I dead?
one man is determined to stop him.
I cannot go back to save her. This scumbag is not going back to steal money.
Stay here, Walker. My future, you're dead.
I think you planned too far ahead.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Ron Silver.
Will you get him?
Mia Sara.
You blow it! You blow it! You blow it! You blow it!
Welcome to You Blew It. This is the show where we watch turd sandwiches in HD, reliving our childhoods one Blu-ray disc at a time. My name is Thunder, aka Camaro Kev. We are in the Roden Family Fun Center, and across from me is one Aaron Roden.
What's up?
This is episode 100
We finally made it.
of You Blew It.
We finally made it.
We did it.
We finally made it. We did it. We watched a movie tonight that we have been talking about for years.
Kind of the thing that you probably wanted, like starting this show, you like this was the one movie that you had in mind that you wanted to watch again.
Yes.
And we waited until episode 100.
And I literally waited to watch this movie even after it kept on showing up on my streaming services for free to watch. Well, not for free. I mean, I'm paying
Sure,
monthly fees, but I had to control myself and not watch this movie. How long have we been doing this?
I don't know now. We should have.
I mean, obviously we don't do this show like every week or anything like that anymore.
No.
So 100 episodes has probably taken us, what, 4 years to get to?
Yeah, probably something
which
like
is
that. Yeah.
somewhat sad in the podcast universe. But
yeah,
we finally made it.
We probably should have looked this stuff up. Since,
I know.
And what's funny is I showed up and I come back here and you got this sack of goodies. You got jalapeno Cheetos.
Yep.
You've got barbecue
Fritos.
You got Frito nacho cheese dip.
That's right.
You got 1,000 grand bar, 100 grand
100
bars.
grand bars.
Jesus. You've got
Mike and
Ike's. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This is episode 100 too.
And a couple of rock stars.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, of course, we're talking about Timecop.
Yeah, one word, by the way.
Yeah, and you should probably get it running in the background here, although usually quietly have it running in the background. Although I'm not sure, I mean, watching this thing and being able to listen, I wasn't even able to really get the plot, which some people are going to sit out there and just be laughing right now. Here's a fact. I am a Van Damme fan. But Timecop was kind of the beginning of the end for me. I saw it in the theater. I wasn't impressed when I saw it in the theater. I like the movie. I didn't dislike the movie when I saw it in the theater.
That's insane to me.
But
that is insane.
At the end of tonight viewing it, I felt about the same as I did when I left the theater the first time.
What?
I can't remember if I saw it with JD or not. Yeah, I think... Because there's just so many. First of all, everyone talks about
this movie is Swiss cheese when it comes to plot holes,
and that I think is the problem for me.
Yeah,
and up to this point, there had been enough time travel movies.
Yeah,
and I was a junior when this came out in high school,
1994.
Yeah,
is what we're talking about.
Yep.
And I mean, this is watching this movie it's like it's serving double duty. It's something that we've wanted to watch for a long time for this show. It's also a noted political thriller. And we're kind of going through
it's timely now, yeah.
A presidential election now, and things are ramping up. And so, we thought, what better political thriller to watch? Some people would say a Manchurian Candidate or something like that. No, Timecop.
Timecop. In fact,
completely forgot what the main plot was to this movie.
Me too.
It's all about a dude wants to just collect money for a presidential campaign.
Right.
So he's going back in time and doing all this like super fucking nefarious shit.
Which that in of itself
is ridiculous.
That there's a time machine, they can travel through time.
Yeah.
They invent time cops because they don't want people or the people
fucking
that abuse
with time.
Yeah, and if the people that abuse it, they want to, get, capture them and make sure they don't, do anything else, all this shit. But the only thing that dude could come up with was, I need to find a way to make more money to fuel my campaign.
Right.
That is it.
Yeah.
And what he comes up with, not great. Not great.
The first scene in this movie though is so fucking good, man. You gotta give it to them. You gotta give it to them on that.
You're talking about the
very first scene is it's pissing rain. You're on this like little weird backcountry road. The text comes up. It says it's like what North Virginia or Virginia. 1864 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that during the Civil War? I don't know.
I
don't know what year it was.
I can't remember what year it is in the movie exactly, and I can't remember all of.
But Confederate soldiers are rolling down this road. And then there's a guy standing in the middle of the road, and he's like, I know that you're carrying gold in that carriage back there. Give me the gold. They don't give him the gold. He pulls out two fucking like futuristic Uzis with laser pointers on them. Hoses these guys down. That is a great fucking opening scene for a movie like this.
It is a great opening scene, and I do remember when I saw it in the theater being a little bit confused. It's like, wait a minute, I thought this was a future movie, and then you're like, oh wait, it's about time travel. So of course,
right.
But it is kind of a nice.
It is called Timecop.
I know, but it's a nice juxtaposition that like everything you saw about the movie was like futuristic-y, and all this shit. And then, but the very first thing they kick off in is in the 1800s. So it's a little, even like the title screen, it's like they got all this like futuristic font and shit, and you end up there. So it's like,
kind of it's kind of a dingus font though.
It is a dingus font, and it's like it's
very blocky.
That late 80s font that was like done on a lot of these kind of B movies, where it was like, this is futuristic looking, and it really isn't.
This has got to be. So you were telling me first off, this 90s. It's 1994.
Yeah.
But you were telling me that like this was like one of the highest grossing Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, right? At the time, or is it still?
I don't know now what it is like over time. I don't know what wins out, but up to this point, it was the highest grossing Van Damme movie in the theater.
And it's got some bigger actors in it too. Well, for the time, I guess they were kind of
you don't like
a lot of these people you've seen before.
It's one of those movies. A lot of them you've seen before, but you couldn't tell me their names.
Can't come up with a single name.
His wife is Sloane from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't remember that young lady's name.
By the way,
a smoke show.
Some great nudity in this movie.
Oh yeah,
well.
You see her boobies. I totally forgot about that. You see a woman's boosh at some point.
Yeah.
Like what? I didn't remember that at all.
Oh my god.
Which
probably part of the reason, as a 14-year-old Roden, completely fell in love with this movie.
Yeah, I was a 17-year-old Thunder, and
and you're like, I've seen so much bush.
Yeah, I beat off to so much better porn than this now, man. Yeah.
See, at 14 years old, I was still searching the woods for my porno.
So it starts off. You know what's funny about that beginning scene too? When you watch it now, I'm like thinking like,
Dude's missing a tooth.
The
too.
dude. That's
By
what
the
I was
way.
gonna say.
By the way,
the guy,
dude from the future is missing a front tooth.
A front tooth, and I'm like, that's how committed this dummy is, or did it just
I guess.
happen that in the future, which the future in this movie is 2004,
Right.
So
Right. Keep that in mind, by the way, because we're going to be talking about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy came back from 2004, which, there were people missing teeth. There's people missing teeth now. So
Yeah.
I guess there was just like, hey, Tommy, we need someone to go back to the 1800s. You look the part because you're missing a tooth.
Yeah, here's 2 future Uzis.
Yeah.
And why don't you take this back and go steal a bunch of a fuck ton of gold?
Uh-huh.
Like what? Why send the guy by himself though? Like they established later on that they can send like multiple people
yeah.
at a time.
Purely to have the beginning of this
I
movie
guess.
look cool. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it. There
Yeah.
are several things in this movie that are purely done for the audience sake, kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And now Peter Hyams, I actually don't mind that director, and his son's pretty decent too.
What's his son's name? Peter Hyams Jr.
John Hyams, I think. He did the newest 2 Universal Soldier movies, I believe.
Oh, really?
I believe we watched one of them.
No, we didn't.
I'm pretty sure we did.
We didn't watch any of the newer ones. No.
Really?
Huh. We watched the original.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. God,
I'm pretty sure we did
thought we
not
did.
watch.
They're pretty good. His son directs
Oh,
those.
we did. We watched the latest one. It had the wrestler in it.
No, ma'am.
What's that?
No, it wasn't that new. It was the one that had the return of. I thought Dolph Lundgren. I don't have to go.
Yeah.
It
Was the return of Dolph Lundgren. That's right.
Yeah. So.
I didn't mean wrestler. I meant physicist. Noted physicist.
Yeah, but there's also an MMA guy in it, so you may have been confused.
Yeah,
with
maybe
that.
that's
There's the pit bulls in it.
Right.
So you're introduced to. First of all, we have that whole scene happening in the 1800s or whatever. You obviously put together, oh my God, this guy came from the future because he's got futuristic machine guns.
Right.
And then it goes to like a bunch of politicians saying, like a committee saying, we need to put together some cops to police this thing.
Right.
And the way it begins is like, hey, remember when I came to you last time for money reasons?
For this research project.
Yeah,
on,
about time travel.
Yeah,
They
and
all
everybody
chuckle.
laughed at me and stuff, or we all laughed about it, saying, this is crazy. Well,
It worked.
it worked.
And now it's dangerous.
Yep. And they've already made, and somebody's already gone back and made changes. But the thing is like, this is a secret project. Like, who
Right.
the fuck went back and, like, did this?
Oh, gee,
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's the evil-looking senator that keeps on looking evil over in the corner.
Table. Yeah.
Senator McComb, who can't make eye contact with anybody at the table because he's fucking evil,
He's
and he made
pure
some changes.
Evil, pure evil. And he even makes some sort of comment about, we don't need this thing. It's a waste of money. This
Yeah.
is what I love about this fucking movie, too. Like, they lay out this shit. They're like, basically, it works. And let me give you just a handful of ideas that are bad. And the guy is still like, well, I don't know if I can wrestle up the money for you.
Right.
And the one dude is like, yeah, I don't think we should do this. We don't need this project. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? First
Yeah.
of all, where's the CIA? Where's the like anybody who's part of like security in the department? You know, in the what is going on here? It's just a bunch of politicians figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is based upon, yeah, we created this fucking thing.
So
and
now we got to deal with
we
it.
got to deal with it, and we kind of just want to blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And somehow this McCombs guy is nut deep and controlling this shit in some way, at least.
And he's like really good at it too.
Yeah.
And like and so like we said to begin, like he's literally just stealing money from the past.
Yeah.
Like one of the big things that I guess we got to say, like we're introduced to, you know, Van Damme's character and his wife.
Yeah,
his lovely wife.
So basically, yeah, after you have these politicians say we got to create this thing, skip
Yeah.
to
The mall.
a mall, yeah. Which in 2004 would have looked like that. They were still holding on at that point.
No, 1994.
Oh shit, that was right. 94.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This was so.
My mind's going through time. I can't keep it straight.
See, it was very complicated.
Very
very complicated.
94 is.
It was 94. It was present day.
Present day.
Yeah. And Jean-Claude Van Damme and his wife are meeting at the mall.
Yeah.
And then there's these weirdos, like future weirdos. It's like standing up in this like causeway or breezeway thing, watching them over them. Yeah.
Yeah. This was, I remember when I saw this the first time in the theater.
It's like 10 minutes in, we get our first sex scene here.
That's true. Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
I remember this scene was always pretty cool where the kid like steals an old lady's purse in the mall.
Oh yeah.
And Van Damme stops him by holding his
foot out.
Yeah, like the guy, like he extends it out.
A high kick.
Like a high kick. Like extends it out, and the kid like rollerblades.
Yeah, he's rollerblading through the mall.
Not really a kid either, by the way.
With these jack off fucking sunglasses on.
And he almost runs into Van Damme's foot, and Van Damme holds it there.
Yeah.
And he says,
he's like, read it.
And he's like, Wolverine. And he goes, between the lines.
I should get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. Black silk underwear.
Also, he has a great line before when he's like, when his wife, we don't know that it's his wife or at the time, but she's like looking in a clock store.
Right.
And you just hear his voice go, there is never enough time.
Yeah. But he says it's so gross. It's such a gross line. Because he goes, there's never enough time. And she goes, time for what? He's like, to satisfy a woman.
Just sleazy, dude. It's so sleazy.
You married that lady.
Yeah.
You fucking married that guy. Oh, what a dirtbag. What a fucking dirtbag. So he's a cop. Right? He's a DC cop.
He's a DC cop, and at some point he notices those dudes watching because he's got the instincts of a fucking cop, man.
Yeah.
So he looks up there. He's like, "Oh boy, they look like dirtbags," and then kind of turns away. And then when he looks back, they're gone.
Right. So we end up back at their house. It looks like it's kind of like a project house.
Yeah, like
they've been working on things.
They're working on things, and they're not doing a very good job of it because they're fucking all the time.
Yeah,
they are fucking. The first thing they do when they get back is they fuck.
Yeah, real fuck sesh too.
Yeah,
like you get quite a few. You get a butt shot.
You get Van Damme's
on
ass.
Van Damme, which right?
And you get boobies.
And you get some boob shots.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets called into work, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Emergency,
and it's pouring rain outside.
Yeah, piss and rain again. And so he's getting ready to leave. Gets clocked in the back of the head as he's trying to leave. And then they blow up his house with his wife inside.
Yeah, and she was trying to tell him something like, "Hey, I have to tell you something," and he's like, "Can it wait when I get back?"
Yeah, and obviously she's pregnant.
Yeah,
right.
And he walks out the door.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
When he walks out the door, these two guys kind of attack him.
I mean, this guy's a ding dong, right?
He is a ding dong.
Like if your wife was like, "We really need to talk," like if you have a great relationship, and she's like, "We really need to talk. I need to tell you something." You can fucking infer what that something is going to be.
Yes.
If you're fucking like rabbits, like you're not using protection, you could probably infer what she's going to tell you.
Well,
what is it?
So wrapped up.
Can it wait until later?
He's so wrapped up in his work. It's it's
too much.
Work.
It's too much for him.
He does say to her too, like, "I got that job" or whatever, right? He's like, "I got that special job" or something, or "I'm going in."
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he mentions something about this because even when later on in the movie when he goes back, he's like, "Remember that job I was telling you about" or something, and she's like, "Time travel" or some shit. She says something like to that effect.
Well, did he tell her that?
I don't think we saw it, but they imply like he's like.
Well, that happens later on in the movie when future Jean-Claude.
I know,
comes
but
back.
he's telling her that like in the beginning here. He says some sort of reference of "I got."
Yeah, but I don't think he actually told her that it was actually a time travel job. I don't think he told her that it was a time cop job.
There was some aspect of it to where when future him goes back and meets past her.
Yes.
He says something to her about it, and she's not that shocked. Like, she's like, I don't believe it, but it doesn't take
I don't
much
think there was
persuading.
time in the movie to make that, so they just move on.
Okay.
You know?
No, they
Because
wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that with this movie.
Yeah.
No,
right,
no
right.
way. No.
It just doesn't, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. Like, okay, we're just going to hire regular cops to be time cops?
Yes.
No, man.
Because you're in D.C.
Right, yeah. We're just going to hire regular cops. Hey, we need to make a new fucking, like, we invented time travel.
You know,
and somehow other people are time traveling to, like, change the future, so we need to make a time cop force.
Yeah.
It's like, but nobody else has this technology, so
yeah.
we're just policing ourselves, which is kind of what it becomes as well.
Yes, correct.
In the next scene. So, like,
well, even when they're like, that stuff is real, we can do it now, and we think someone's already traveled back in time. There would be, like, first of all, like you said, there's one machine.
Yeah.
So how are people going back into time without using that machine? You'd have to, I mean, it wouldn't be difficult for them. They'd be like, okay, we're locking everybody down who's worked on this project.
Yeah.
And we're going to figure out who leaked this shit and where another machine is.
And we're going to have 24-hour fucking security on the machine.
And the people that were, like...
By the way, the machine is like a fucking pod racer that's on a rail that goes super fast and then disappears into, like, a ripple. It bends the fabric of time, and it goes in. It kind of has this, like, ripple, like, water kind of effect thing.
Yeah, it's like it's almost as if you dropped water on a smooth pond and
yes,
the ripples.
Dropped a pebble. On
a pebble, yeah. Sorry, a drip of water or a pebble or whatever.
And then sometimes it puts them exactly where they need to be. Sometimes, most of the time, it does not. But it seems like the bad guys kind of have it all figured out. They can just show up wherever the fuck they want to show up.
The more I talk about this,
but the time cops, it's a little bit more freewheeling over there.
Yeah, no, it's fucking not. The first time you're introduced to Van Damme, he going through time.
Yeah,
he opens up in the 1930s, 1920s, wherever office building, exactly where he needs to be
during the massive stock market crash before the Great Depression.
Right, and he strolls in, like, makes this entrance, like he does this shit all the time. He walks right in, but then for the rest of the movie, it's just
he's getting dropped in fucking lakes.
He's dropping in the lake. He fucking ends up right in front of a semi truck in the middle of a highway.
Oh, and by the way, where's the pod?
Yeah, the pod just goes.
The pod is not there. And then they have this little, like, thing that they can press a button, and then they return.
Yeah, in the pod. On the track. Reversed, going back opposite the way it went.
Oh, that's true too, huh?
It's so fucking
It's like
dumb,
it's turned around.
The more we talk about it, the more like the dumber this shit gets.
I didn't put two and two together on that one.
It's real dumb, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is so busy with, like, basically going, we just need to get them back in time. And like
we'll worry about all this later. That's what the writers. That's what the writers said.
Like, it's basically a MacGuffin, and we don't have to over-explain it. Here's what they have, and this is what it is, and that's that's it.
It does make. I will say this: it makes this movie so fun. It makes this movie so fun to watch because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, yeah.
It's a little frustrating in the sense that, like, it's hard to take serious, but there is no joking tone to it.
Yeah,
it is
that's
a
true.
serious movie, but it's very ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, just the premise that, like, a dude is, like, going back in time to do all this nefarious shit just so he can get money for his campaign to become president is just so bonkers.
So
it's just so fucking bonkers, dude.
Yeah. Oh boy, we got to play in the background here. So his wife gets blown up.
Yeah.
We fast forward to 2004.
Right. It's only 10 years later.
It's only 10 years later. And then we go to a guy, like you said, before the stock market or during the stock market crash.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who's killing it. But he goes up to his office and like as he's going to his office, there's a dead guy on the street, and they're like, another one jumped. And he's like, oh, shit happens. And you're like, whoa. This guy might not be of that time. He's saying stuff like shit happens.
Yeah.
Then he gets up in the elevator. He gets up there. He pulls out a USA Today from 2004.
Right.
He pulls out the newspaper from whatever year it is.
He's looking for companies that are still around in 2004 that were uber duper cheap, back in the 20s.
And he's buying.
And he's like circling them, and he's buying up just thousands of shares of companies that are now, in 2004 worth like, $400 a share.
And then this is where Van Damme shows up in the office and is nice little, and this guy we find out is his ex-partner.
Yeah.
So I guess McCombs or whatever must have pulled him away and said, hey, I've got a machine. You help me get this money. I'll give you a bunch of money or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? So here's another thing that just doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah.
So
where is he getting the money in the past to pay for the stocks?
Well,
so he must have, this guy, right? His partner, Walker, that, by the way, Jean-Claude Van Damme's character is named Walker. Walker's partner must have had to have been going back in time and like living in that time period for a bunch to get established. And like, because he's working at a fucking trading firm.
That is true. He's like,
right? He's like the head honcho at a trading firm.
But I will say this, at least they were smart enough to go and get gold from the 1800s that would still spend perfectly fine to finance your shit in the 1920s or 30s or whatever.
Yeah.
When did the stock market crash? When was that?
The Great Depression?
Was in the 30s? Is that when it was? Fuck, I don't know.
1910s, maybe?
Are you serious? It wasn't that. No, because the Great Depression was in the 30s, right? Because that's why you have.
Yeah, because you had the Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
Right. So things were good in the 20s.
Yeah.
And then the Great Depression happened in the 30s.
Yeah, because then you had the Dust Bowl and all that shit.
Yeah,
That's where you
yeah.
get John Dillinger and all that shit.
Right,
in there.
right.
Anyways, sorry. I digress. So, somehow he's established. This guy's been working there a long time enough to be trading, and all these people know him, Mr. So-and-so and all this shit.
Yeah.
So Van Damme shows up and says, hey, man, sorry, you're busted. This guy says this dude, McCombs,
Senator
is the one who's
McCombs.
running it.
Yeah.
And if I come back into the future, he's going to go back and wipe out my family. It's not like I never existed.
He's going to kill my cat. He's going to kill my kids. He's going to kill my wife. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you got to testify. And so when they get back into the future.
Well, he's like, no way. And he goes to jump out the window.
Right. How can I forget this shit?
And Walker like jumps after him, grabs onto him, presses the button, and they end up in the future.
God damn, this is another thing in this movie that is a cool idea, cool concept. Like the guy jumps out the window and he's so confident because he can just grab him and hit the button and they'll go through the time portal or whatever, right?
Right.
And it's still pretty cool, but the way it's edited is like they're falling for 30 to 40 seconds. I swear to God, I hate that shit in these movies. Like, but they're doing it in a way like so they can explain it because we're too dumb as the audience to figure out what exactly he's doing. It's like, no, if you would have just had him jump out and then grab him and then just go bloop into the thing, we would have figured it out.
Right, yeah.
We would have figured it out. And then, you could have him holding the thing when they get back into the future and be like, oh, whatever, right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
Then they go in front of this court.
They go immediately in front of the court.
That is just set up in this Timecop place.
Yeah.
What is it called? The time...
it's the TEC. Yeah.
And they go before this judge and they're like,
they find him guilty because he won't testify.
He won't testify. And the guy's like, I'm not going to say anything. And they're like, okay. But he even said, like, I want to die. This is, again, I don't understand this. I want to die in the past. He says that's why he doesn't want to go into the future because if he fails, they're going to kill my family. So I'd rather die here in the past. And that's when he runs and jumps out the window, right? Like, what was his reasoning? I didn't quite understand that.
I think because they were going to make him not exist. So if...
But you're going to fucking die anyways. I guess his idea was,
yeah, but then
my family continues to exist without me.
His family continues to exist.
Right.
Yeah. I think that was the point of that.
Yeah, okay. And so then when he get in front of the court, he's like, I'm not saying anything. He was like, okay, we sentence you to death. And they return him somehow.
Right.
Somehow they return just him.
Yeah. To the specific spot where he was falling before he and Walker went through the time ripple.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he can apparently show up exactly in this office when he needed to.
At the exact time.
And return this dude exactly in midair where he was left.
Yes.
Did they put him in a machine? Did they strap him into a machine?
They must have had to. They had to have, right?
It's so fucked, dude. And people are probably like, why are you trying to figure this out? It's like, you guys are idiots. It's just a stupid B movie. But it's like, because it's so serious and earnest. The fucking cars in this thing, dude.
Dude. So we just saw a scene with these fucking cars driving through the street.
I think this is one of the things that people remember the most.
It is the only futuristic car that is driving through that street. All the other cars are from 1994.
Right.
And the 80s.
Yes.
Like, I saw a fucking Lincoln.
Right.
I saw.
And these are supposed, I believe these are supposed to be like limousines. They're futuristic.
Well, they're futuristic. You just tell the car where you want to go.
Self-driving.
Self-driving.
Hey, look, they kind of got that right.
It's a Waymo. It's a Waymo car. Yeah.
The technology in this stupid fucking limousine is better than the technology they're using to run the goddamn time.
The Timecop.
The Timecop shit is like a bunch of tube TVs and terrible looking graphics. And then not saying it's much better when you get inside these cars, but at least they're like,
they look futuristic.
But
the exterior of these cars look fucking just whacked.
Just fucking so stupid. So when his buddy goes and dies, his ex-partner, and he tells his boss it's the senator who's running for president. He's funding all of this shit.
Right.
Well,
they show up, first of all. They show up at the headquarters.
That's right.
Right? And so Walker kind of confronts McComb, right? He doesn't flat out say that, like, hey, fucker, like, I've got word that you're behind all this shit. He doesn't say it out loud. No. But he says it with his eyes.
And McComb knows.
And McComb fucking knows.
Because his guys told him, like, this dude.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so when they do, they because he's part of, like, the funding behind it.
Yeah, and it's obvious that McComb is behind killing his wife, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking obvious.
Why did he kill? Oh, that's right.
Because Walker finds out about all this shit in the future.
But okay, so this is part of the. Yeah, that's right. So they went back to kill Walker.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to do this in the future.
Exactly.
But they fucked up because he was wearing a bulletproof jacket.
A bulletproof vest. So
all of this shit happens because
Walker was wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, and they went back to kill him. Like, oh man, this is the stuff that is fucked about these goddamn movies.
Well, this is what's fucked about trying to talk about these goddamn movies.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because you're watching.
They're fun as hell to watch.
They are
dude.
fun as hell to watch.
I fucking love movies.
You just
like
never dig deep because it's just.
I love time travel movies. I absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So, good Christ. So now he's like, I got to get this guy, and the dude's basically like, good luck in getting me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his boss, which is his good buddy, believes him, but is basically like,
you got to have a witness.
A lot of proof.
Have a witness.
Yeah, we got to have him dead to rights, basically.
Right.
So, and that's basically the plot at this point. He's trying to get proof that this guy's doing this, and Senator McComb is trying to stop him from doing it.
Right.
To buy him time to.
And then there's a lady. So I think the next thing that kind of happens, like the big thing that happens. Oh, but he goes back to his apartment.
Yeah.
And
that's right. How can we forget?
He says, "Take me home." You know, he gets into his future car and says, "Take me home." His apartment's super fucking swanky, futury too.
Yeah, and it's kind of minimalistic compared to the rest of the bullshit we've seen thus far.
I know, it's really strange. Like the things that they choose to make futury is very strange.
Yeah,
in
it is
this.
strange. Like
because
his TV is 16:9, but clearly still
a CRT
TV, but it's like mounted in a way that makes it look almost like a flat screen.
It's like inset into the wall
with two giant speakers that are inset into the wall on either side.
He's got a water cooler in his living room.
Water is toxic in the future, and you have to filter it.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably. No, I don't. And he's
just rocking a fucking whiskey bottle, dude.
Rocking a goddamn mullet.
Oh, his hair.
What is it? It's not even a mullet.
It's not even a mullet.
Because it's all long. And he pompadours it and then like flows it out.
I think that's what
back.
it is. It's a pompadour.
But
the most magnificent pompadour you've ever seen.
It's like a Siegfried and Roy sort of situation. Where
it's not that.
It's all hair sprayed up and shit. It's pretty ridiculous.
I think it looks fucking rad.
It's rad. There's no doubt about that. But like from scene to scene, it changes too. It's like
have you noticed? I don't want to derail everything. But like
go
that
ahead.
That hairstyle has not come back totally. But like
it was never a big thing. Like when they made this movie, it wasn't a big thing.
You don't think so?
No, I think it was
I think there was a group of men probably in their 30s and 40s that had that hairstyle.
Oh, I'm sure there was some dipshits out there, but
in early 90s, late 80s.
But I think they were doing it because this is like a futuristic haircut from 04.
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit. That's my
I don't know,
theory.
dude. I don't know.
That's my theory.
I don't know. But have you noticed that like those fucking this trend has come back now, and like especially with kids, and it's just driving me fucking nuts.
Which one?
Blades.
Oh yeah,
those wraparounds.
Yeah, the wraparounds.
The giant.
They're called Vipers now. I believe the brand is Vipers.
Oh, Vipers.
Yeah,
whatever
like
they are,
blades.
and then the fucking gold chain.
Yeah,
and then like kind of jerry curled hair.
Well, the thing that I've noticed with my nephew, who plays bass,
it drives me fucking insane. I was like, dude, you fucking morons! You look like tiny little fucking dirtbags.
Yeah, you just want to punch them.
Oh my god, I want to hit so many little boys.
So my nephew, he said this a few years ago, but he's trying to grow his hair out in the back.
Yeah,
and he kind of wants to perm it, get it curly.
Yeah,
so he can wear a baseball hat and have it all the back,
blow out.
There's a bunch of pitchers in the MLB that are like
it's
that.
driving me fucking insane, dude.
And they're all wearing those fucking blades.
And a gold chain.
I don't know about the chain. I can't speak to that.
Oh,
I'll take your word for it.
The chain is big.
So, okay, back to the real future.
Oh, I just want to murder some children. Seriously, it's driving me crazy.
I'm the one that's supposed to hate kids. What's wrong with you?
I'm a great dad.
Where do we leave off? Not far enough into this.
No,
episode.
it was his apartment.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
they're showing his apartment. His apartment's. We were talking about his hair.
Yeah, you got hung up on that.
Yeah, sorry.
I love this trope in these type movies where, so his last existence for the past 10 years has been him going back and trying to bust these guys that are going back in time illegally, and then going home, getting drunk, and watching old movies of he and his wife doing things. Like, I think she's trying to put up a tent.
What is she trying to do? Build a birdhouse.
Build a birdhouse.
They were trying to build a birdhouse.
Trying to build a birdhouse. He's filming her do it, and that's the home video he's watching from.
And he's talking to the video.
Yeah, he's saying all the lines that he says in the video.
Yeah.
So we as the audience like, oh, dude, he's watched this so many times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like it's like really, dude.
Just reliving it.
It sucks. There's no doubt about it.
By the way, that is a scene in Minority Report.
Oh yeah.
And I think Tom Cruise fucking stole that shit from Timecop.
Fuck, maybe.
I mean, he was kind of a time cop.
Yes, very much so.
Or he was a psy cop.
Yes.
Psy cop.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
So these guys fucking show up after he passes out, and they show up trying to kill him.
a bunch of bad guys.
Here's the other problem I got, and you don't want to hear this because you don't give a shit about this stuff. The fight scenes aren't great in this movie.
No, they're not. No, they are not.
And Van Damme
I agree.
has some movies where he has some really cool fight scenes. This is not one of them.
No.
He manages to do the splits. He does some high kicks. There's a really lame knife fight.
Oh my god, this knife fight is so
fucking
it's so dumb.
And I want to give this
so dumb.
sleazebag any credit, but Seagal's got some awesome knife fights in his scenes. In a couple of his movies around this same period. And then there's even a Gouda stick scene.
Yeah.
Which I totally fucking forgot about. Like, I don't even remember. He gets like a mop or something, or I don't know what it is.
No.
What
It was in the 1930s, and it was a lamp, and he breaks the lamp in half.
Yeah, and then he's got these two Gouda sticks.
Yeah.
And, I said it while we're watching it. This guy's no Jeff Wincott, and he's no fucking Jeff Speakman.
No.
And I hate to say it, but Van Damme, stay in your fucking lane. Do your splits.
Do your splits.
Show
Do your
your
high
ass,
kicks.
and do your high kicks.
Yep.
That's it. You get a few. You see his ass. He does the splits.
Punch with the side of your fist.
Punch with the side. That would obliterate your knuckles. Oh boy, man. So these guys show up. Terrible fight scene.
Yeah. He takes him out.
He takes him out, and then
like the main guy that shows up, he's got like this 50,000 watt taser.
Which looks like a taser from 1994.
Yeah, and it like shoots the prongs out.
With the cords.
I always remembered that from seeing it when I was younger, and I thought it was the coolest fucking thing.
Me too.
Like coolest thing in the world.
Me too.
And it like was retractable, so he could
pull him back.
He could pull him back in and then shoot it again.
Yep.
Which he does. And this guy, it works for McComb. We saw him in the limo.
Louisely
with McComb.
right-hand man.
Yeah. After he fucking belted his right hand man in the face.
Yeah, he smashes his face while he's annoyingly eating like peanuts.
Yeah.
Is it Ron Silver who is the bad guy in this?
I think that's Ron Silver. Yeah. I think.
Oof, really chewing up the scenery.
Oh man, he plays a good bad guy.
He does play a good bad guy. He's too much of a good bad guy because the instant you see him, you're like, this guy is pure evil.
Oh yeah. I mean, there is no.
How is everyone fooled by this guy?
Yeah, there is no question. This guy is fucking evil. Yeah.
So this lady shows up with these other cops and
to the apartment,
and she's internal affairs.
Yes.
In the Timecop.
Well, that's what I can't figure out because she's never been on a jump before, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah.
A jump.
Yeah.
She's done it in training. But is internal affairs? Does internal affairs just go after all cops? I mean,
I can't remember what.
How secret is the Timecop program?
Not very.
It doesn't seem that way.
No, it doesn't seem very.
Seems like it's pretty out in the open.
I can't remember what throwaway line, but she gets to job shadow him, and his boss is okay with it for some reason.
Well, yeah, because she's basically doing an investigation because of his partner, his ex-partner.
Right. And she's
was, gaming the system in the stock market back in the 1930s.
And wasn't it also kind of the thought is if your partner's corrupt, there's a good chance you're corrupt.
I believe so,
Something like that, yeah. So she's going to come along with this jump.
Yeah, they get an alert. They get an alert that there's there's a
level 4.
Well, yeah, but what they call it was like an anomaly or whatever.
Yeah, like a level
whatever it is. It's like somebody's changing something.
Yeah.
Or something might change.
Yeah, something like that. And then it was bumped to a 6, and that's when he's
it's like, oh shit, we got to go. And so they hop into this thing, and he is just literally pulls out a piece of gum. He's just the coolest fucking cucumber in this pod.
This shit doesn't even bother. I've jumped so many times, it doesn't even bother me. What's funny about this?
And then they show video of their faces,
it's like cameras and their vitals or whatever.
Yeah. And he's just looking so fucking cool, and just annoyed that he's there.
Yeah,
and
he's
she's
basically
freaking out.
showing off for this lady.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who's super nervous.
Yep. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. This whole scene here is finally where they're like, we're going to explain to the audience through this woman character how all of this shit works.
Yeah.
You know what? You should have fucking saved it. It didn't make it any better. It made it worse.
No.
They're like,
completely made no sense.
They're like, she's like, we're going to go towards that wall. I've only been in simulators before. Oh, okay. We're going to go at 50 miles an hour, 50 million miles an hour towards that concrete wall. And like, yup. It's like,
what if it doesn't work?
What if it doesn't work? We're going to have to peel you off it. And then he chews this gum and then he just puts it. Like, I would be so pissed off if I was the people that have put this whole thing together. Like, hey, your asshole guys are sticking gum in there. Like,
well, and the other thing is like, it kind of looks like there's only one pod.
It does look like there's only one pod.
That a whole bunch of people have to share.
And
he is not the only time cop.
No, and he drives it through a fucking Stargate, apparently.
Yeah. And why is there a concrete block right there?
I don't know. I said make it a Hyperloop.
Yeah.
Then it's just a track that it doesn't matter which way you're going or coming.
Yeah.
It's just going in a loop. So when it goes and comes back, it's all ready to go again.
Yeah.
But no, they got to have it on a straight line that
They
goes
gotta have
into a concrete wall if it fucks up. And then when it comes
and then
back,
the people die.
Then they die. And when it comes back on the same track in the opposite direction. You have to get someone out there to turn it around and put it right back on the track again.
They got to have like a crane or a cherry picker.
Or possibly a thing that rotates, like where it's sitting. Maybe it rotates around back.
Yeah, you could have like a little turnstile.
It's fucking dumb. So when they leap on this time with her,
they're in DC.
They're in DC, and they end up coming back above in the air above the lake, and they drop into a lake. Like before, they've been controlling where they can go.
Yeah.
All the bad guys can control it, and up to this point, he can control it. Until now, no reason, no explanation. We don't know why.
Nope. And she apparently is not wearing a bra because she is just nipping hard.
Which is a weird thing to do when she's talking about her 16-year-old self as she's just cutting glass.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
What?
And she's talking about her first sexual experience as well.
Yes, that's right.
I should call myself right now and tell myself not to sleep with Bobby Holman or
after my 16th birthday or some shit.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the other thing that bugs me about this too is like, why wouldn't they dress appropriately for the time period that they're going to?
Because cops, bro.
They are literally wearing Timecop uniforms in 1994. They are from 10 years in the future. People are not going to understand what they are wearing.
Yes, they are, because the actual shit that they're wearing isn't that
crazy.
You just go, this is, I guess, a security guard of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah. What's that badge you're wearing? It's tiny.
Do they have guns?
They do. Yeah. They
never
have the future revolver things.
Oh, that's right, with the little it's like
a future Beretta, but it's got like a really round thing around the shooty part.
They sound really cool and they fire too. They actually sound pretty cool.
Yeah,
so they go to this warehouse.
The warehouse says Parker McComb Data Link Systems. And the internal affairs lady
did
says,
that license plate say Senator?
Yeah, the license plate. There's a car, a Lincoln Town car, parked outside that says Senator on the license plate. Just so the audience knows.
This place, this warehouse where they're making these chips, by the way.
Yeah, hold on. Because the internal affairs lady says, I thought it was just Parker Data Link Systems.
Oh.
At that point. And it's like, oh, okay. So McComb was either has changed something in the past that he's part of this, or was part of this. And we find out that he was part of this chip factory thing, this computer chip factory.
So wait,
thing.
Which one did she say it was only Parker?
Yeah, she says. I thought it was only Parker Data Link
That's
Systems.
right.
Yeah, but we see this scene where McComb, the past McComb, is getting pushed out of the company.
The data chip dude is like buying him out.
Yeah, buys him out. It's like, here's an envelope. McComb doesn't look very happy about it. But he's going to take it anyway because the data link system the company is not doing well.
It's not doing well, yeah.
Then, dun. Future Macomb shows up.
Yep.
And says,
Don't
fucking take that check. Don't cash that check.
Don't take this.
Tells
deal.
himself, don't cash that check. And so now we get a little bit of exposition here too, a little bit more of an exposition dump, where basically he tells himself that you can't touch yourself, your past self or your future self, because the same thing can't exist in the same plane at the same time.
And we also get that explained to us at some point back at the station as well.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
They
really beat it into your head.
Yeah,
because as you'll find.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because okay.
I mean, they don't beat it in your head, but they say it like explicitly at least twice.
It's very foreshadowy, you know.
Yeah. So he basically is like saying, "Yeah, don't sell your share in this
because
shit.
this company becomes massive in the future."
Now, here's another thing. Again, we're talking about this plot bullshit, and someone might be out there right now, and if you are listening to this, please leave us a voicemail or leave us an email.
Oh yeah, if you've got an explanation for anything that we've been talking about, or if we've missed something, because I'm sure we've missed tons.
Especially with this goddamn time travel movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't care if it's other movies where we fuck up, but this one in particular, I want to know about. We've had
Thunder's having a real hard time with this one.
I'm just saying, like, I don't invite you guys to ever call and correct us on a lot of this shit, because there's a lot of correcting that needs to be done.
Yeah.
But in this movie specifically, correct away, like, please, because I genuinely want to know.
Yeah.
Most of these other movies I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. He explains to himself that, like, hey, this thing becomes huge. Don't take that check, like, and you're not gonna buy us out. You're not gonna buy me out.
Yeah.
You know, he says to Parker, basically.
And then he shoots the dude in the head.
Shoots Parker in the head.
Shoots Parker in the head.
The guy who makes the fucking, like, the guy who invented these chipsets shoots him in the head.
Shoots him in the head. I don't know how he got away with it in the future. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, did the cops come here, find this guy's dead body, all of this shit, and how did this get him ownership of this company, I guess? Everything that went down right here.
Yeah.
Because the guy didn't officially buy him out at this point. Parker didn't buy him out. Parker got his head blown off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you just own the fucking company now because someone murdered this guy.
Well, it's Parker Macomb Data Link Systems, right? So Macomb owns half of the fucking company at least already.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
So that's like if someone dies, their family doesn't get a shot at it, or how's it work? I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Fuck if I know, dude. I don't know. I've never owned a business.
Not to mention, but not to mention, what was his plan? I guess maybe the original plan wasn't to shoot the guy in the head, because, I mean, he does it when Van Damme shows up, right? So I still am like fucking confused as to what he was going to do to get rid of this other guy completely.
Well, I don't know. I can't figure that part out either, because obviously Parker, the guy who gets killed, is the smart guy. He's the guy that invents the fucking chips.
Maybe like the
Why would you want to kill him anyway?
Because maybe the
technology is already there.
It's already there.
But then they proceed to just full on destroy this whole warehouse.
Yeah, but maybe the schematics and all that stuff is still there. You could just rebuild, I guess. My bigger question again, and not to get hung up on this, but because now we have it playing in the background, and you can see that his plan was to kill this dude.
Yes. Yeah.
So again, this is what? Is this 94? I can't remember. They did go
This is 1994.
This is 1994. Yeah. So did the cops come and did an investigation and just found this place blown up with the dead body of this guy? And
they never looked at
never looked into it, and they just
the other owner?
Yeah.
I guess not. I mean, he's a fucking senator at this point.
Yeah.
So, like, You know,
I wasn't
maybe
sure of that
not.
until I saw that license plate, though.
And we find out the internal affairs lady is working with Macomb.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah. Then another shitty fucking fight happens in a fucking warehouse that somehow makes chips.
Yep.
That are the size of fucking 7 pool tables.
They look more like Laserdisc size.
But I guess, but there was a whole like sheet of them the size of this room.
Yeah.
They throw a guy off into it, destroying them all.
Yep.
So okay, now because it is playing, but this is all gonna have to be from. So after all of this shit goes down, they think they've killed the guy that he was partners with. They killed the internal affairs woman. They think.
He kills her. Yeah, Macomb kills the internal affairs woman. He's got Walker dead to rights.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's fucking
at the end of this fight scene, right? And the internal affairs lady is standing there. Macomb has gun on Walker, and he just shoots the internal affairs woman instead of Walker.
And then, of course, while he's shooting her, Walker escapes.
Yeah, escapes. He ducks down and grabs a gun again.
Yeah.
And then Macomb just kind of, presses his button and goes back to the future.
Yeah.
Goes back to 2004.
Mm-hmm. So
now he's uber fucking rich. He has changed the path of the past quite a bit. Before he goes, he tells his past self to get the fuck out of here. Right?
Correct.
Leave the scene.
Yes.
And then, goes, Walker then presses his button, goes back to 2004 as well, and everything has changed. What?
This is what kills me about this. So when he comes back to that future, he shows up, everything works fine. And there's like a throwaway line of his boss and some people that are at the time.
It's like, they're shutting us down.
They're shutting us down. I can't even believe you were able to make it back. This track was getting ready to be.
They're getting ready to scrap all this track.
You're lucky this track wasn't scrapped. And and he's like, wait a minute. I'm your best friend. I don't know who you are, pal. So.
Oh wait, they didn't even know who he was?
No, remember he kept telling him, I'm your best friend. He's like, if you're my best friend, he starts asking all these questions, but he feels a kinship. He does take a liking to him because remember, then when he gets when he's in the pad,
I guess I didn't hear that part.
When he's getting ready to jump again, this guy helps him for whatever reason.
Yeah, the chief or whoever he is.
He helps him because he goes, he's like, Macomb is the guy that's behind. This is who I'm going after.
And the chief hates Macomb.
He's like, yeah, I hate the guy.
He's
shutting our shit down. That's
program.
And so he's like, I'm going to help you. Because I trust you. I trust what you're telling me.
Well, they said so. Hold on, too, because there's an they figure out how Macomb is doing it first.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Right. That's right.
It's like there was a prototype that they never scrapped.
How he's going back in time.
Yes. Yeah. So they figure out how Macomb's doing it. It's locked up tight, but that's how they're doing it. So are we to believe that they went to the prototype in Maryland to use that?
Yeah, because they said it's just outside of Maryland.
So it's not that far from DC.
It's not that far from DC.
So they went. So Walker, the chief, and then the nerdy guy who's now actually kind of a cool put together guy.
Yeah.
That runs
we forgot
the whole
to talk
system.
About there's of course your typical nerdy dude who helps run the time machines.
At one point is watching VR porn, getting his rope tugged in VR porn. This is where you get the boost shot, by the way.
Right in the middle of the control
right in the middle
room.
of the office.
The control room.
In the control room.
People are around and
he is about to fucking goof in his pants. And then they come in and they take his fucking visor off. This is earlier in the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You fucking gross dude! Come on, we gotta get this show on the road."
Yeah, his boss is basically God damn it! I've told you,
quit watching
quit
porno
using this equipment for this.
Oh God, I can't wait
Christ.
for that technology to come.
But then, so when he comes back into
He's no longer super nerdy.
He's like
actually,
super professional and put together.
Yeah, he's got like a purple suit on
Like
and shit.
his ponytail's all pulled back.
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
and
it's not.
it's not disheveled.
But he's like the token like kind of hippie guy.
Yeah.
Super smart hippie guy in the movie that's just like so into launching the pods.
Yeah,
And he's just
yeah.
like, I can't believe this is my job.
This dumb pod looks like leftover equipment from Battlestar Galactica.
It
the
does.
TV series.
Very
Not the new
much
one,
so.
the old
Very
one.
much so. And it's only the cockpit.
It's the cockpit. Yeah, it's only the cockpit. Yeah. So that's right. So I think that they just went on a computer and figured that out. Right?
So they didn't go to
because they're like, we don't have access to that. And it was like, so-and-so would. And I think they just go to this computer and they go, oh, yeah, there's the one in, there's a prototype, and it's located very close to where this guy is.
And it was never scrapped.
It was never scrapped.
So that's how they're doing it.
That's how they're doing it.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so he's like, I'll send you back, or, because I don't like this guy either.
And he's like, I believe you.
I believe
but
you.
we've got to get evidence.
And the joke he makes right as he's closing the cockpit is like,
I've eaten your wife's gazpacho like
goulash
1,000 times, and it always needs more salt.
No, it's too salty.
Oh, it's too salty.
She uses too much salt.
Too much salt.
And the dude chuckles.
He's like, okay.
Yeah. God damn it. This guy does know me.
Right.
And then.
Oh, and by the way, McComb is like, way ahead in the polls at this point.
Yeah, that's right. They say that like.
Yeah.
Like. And then they say something like, well, he bought the election. And he's like, that isn't the first time.
Yeah.
That's not the first time somebody's done that.
Yeah.
And so he gets in the pod. His boss.
By the way, again, only 10 years in the future.
Only 10 years.
Only 10 years in the future.
Correct.
So, like, from the starting point. So, why do people do this? Make it like, I guess they might have to do that because of age.
And budgetary reasons, too.
Well, yeah,
Like
'cause
10
you can't
years
you can't make like the city look totally different and stuff like that. You can make the car.
Well,
couple
yeah,
of
you
the
can
cars
just
look
still
different.
film
and
in
stuff.
current day locations because 10 years is going to change a lot. That's why the cars are really dumb in this. Like,
yeah, still though, it's like if you're gonna make the cars look like that, like,
but just
and
don't.
the apartments is just put it, at least like 30 years in the future.
It's just parts of this movie are so half-assedly done.
Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's not that
guess.
big budget of a movie. It looks great. The movie looks great, by the
Yeah.
way. It's like I think it looks really well. Like,
yeah.
shot really well. I mean, as much as I'm disappointed with the fight scenes and shit, it uses early CG, that water effect when they come in and out of
actually,
time. It's
like,
pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but
No,
I think back in
it's subtle
'94 it
enough,
probably looked pretty okay.
Yeah. The worst part of it is, and we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So his boss sends him back.
Well, so he's going back because he thinks that the internal affairs woman might still
be alive. That's right.
Because she's the one witness.
She's the one witness.
Right.
And that's right. He looks it up and or he's like, I'm going to go back.
He looks it up under Jane Doe.
Jane Doe, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he finds out there's a Jane Doe in the hospital
for gunshot wounds
on that day.
Right.
And
right.
so he go, but when he goes back, he's not sure if she.
Yeah, so
alive.
he looks it up on his Palm Pilot.
Yeah, but that's when he gets back into.
Yeah.
Yeah, but while he's on his way out, they storm the place and end up shooting and killing his boss.
Right,
his boss, the chief, sends him off, and he's being shot. And he presses a button.
Yeah, the last thing he does.
Yeah,
his final breath.
So now there's no way he can get back to that timeline
unless he changes
the shit,
the future. Yeah, or changes the past to change the future. Yeah.
So, and this is one thing I do appreciate when we get to the end of the movie that actually does make sense, right? Like, so anyway, so he gets there, he finds out that, she is indeed still alive. He goes to the hospital, he talks to her.
Yeah, and this part bugged me. This was the only part that I had problems with.
Oh,
this
the
movie.
only?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
seriously, because the rest of this movie I fucking love.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
This is the only part that I hated. Is she talks to him like they're best buds.
Yeah.
Like she just tried to kill him. Like before she got shot, she was trying to kill him too.
Yeah, well, they had some moments in here for like camaraderie's sake, like when she's first jumping, and then when they get there, they have some sort of like back and forth play. Like he kind of likes her, and she kind of likes him. Like, there's some line before they go in to the chip manufacturing place. Even when she says like this is the day after Bobby so and so disappointed me by having sex, and he's like, maybe you should go back he's like,
maybe you should give Bobby some pointers or something.
Yeah, or something like that. And
maybe I'll call Bobby and give him some pointers.
Yeah, you should call Bobby, give us something like that. It's like a throwaway line of that.
Yeah.
And then when they get ready to go into the chip manufacturing place, he says another joke, and she kind of smirks. So they try to build like, okay, they didn't do it enough. They didn't do it enough, right? Like they're trying to be like,
yeah,
they
because
are
she
warming.
still double crosses.
Yeah, I know,
guy.
but like, I think there was like essentially like, she's kind of a good person. She's doing this to better herself and her family.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then I think she even says like, I made a mistake when he gets to the hospital or whatever. But like,
well, yeah. So he gets to the hospital. As soon as he gets out of the taxi and goes into the hospital, camera pans down. Who's getting into her car and leaving the hospital? Mm-hmm. Ooh, his wife. His late wife.
Yep.
But not in this timeline because she's still alive.
Because
it's 1994. It's the day before she gets killed.
And I even said this. I said this entire time he's obsessed about his wife. And all
but he's never had the thought to come back
and change it.
He's
that good of a time. He's that good of a
time cop, dude.
But even when they go back and she's like, "Oh, it's 1994. This such and such, and I fucked this dude when I was 16."
Yeah.
Van Damme doesn't go, "Oh snap!" Like,
"Oh shit, this is the day before my wife dies."
Gets murdered.
Yeah.
So he talks to her in the hospital. She's like,
Sorry, I'm all stuffed up. I keep on like sniffling and stuff. I apologize.
Oh, you should. And so I think she says something to the effect like, "Yeah, I'll help you," whatever, right? But why do they need her blood? Oh, to prove who she is.
To prove who she is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think. So he goes and grabs her blood.
Goes to grab her blood.
And what vial is right behind her vial of blood? Oh, his wife's vial of blood.
Who's like Jenny Walker.
Melissa Walker.
Who could be...
Get the names right.
Fucking a million Melissa Walkers in the goddamn...
Yeah. I mean, they're in DC
area.
There's probably 800 Melissa Walkers.
Maybe it's got the address on
there.
But
as he's leaving to go get the blood too, she says something to him. The internal affairs lady says something to him. It's like, what does she say? Like you can always change the future or something like that. And it hits him.
Yeah, that's right.
You see it register on his face. He's like,
what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So he goes to get her blood, finds his wife's blood, and finds out that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Comes back. Hey, I'm back. I got your blood.
Yep.
Oh my God, you're dead.
Yep.
And there's a syringe sitting in here.
There's a syringe sticking out of your IV.
And the nurse is like, "Oh my God, he killed her." So security, and so the security chases him. Then you see those two weird guys
that you saw in the beginning at the mall.
So now he knows. Oh shit. Okay.
The weird guys that killed his wife as well.
So at this point, and this is where I think he realized that he can stop this entire shit because the thing that killed his wife was the beginning of this whole thing, right? For him.
Yes.
Right?
I believe so. Yes.
Because yeah, we'll get into it at the end here or whatever, but so I think that's why he knows to go back to his house. Because I was wondering, he's not just going there to save his wife. In fact,
well, he ends up at the mall first.
I don't.
But why did he go to the mall?
Probably
because he encounters his wife. He finds his wife at the mall, and he like takes her aside, and this is where he tells her like, "Hey, I'm a time traveler."
Yeah.
You know, she's like, "What happened to you? Like, what?
Yeah,
You're
why
not
do you have
my
a
husband.
mullet?
Who are you?
Why do you have this fucking Siegfried and Roy hairstyle?"
Yeah.
He's like,
"Why are you wearing this weird vest with fucking like a screen on it?"
Well, remember that job I was gonna take?
Yeah,
the time travel job.
It's time travel.
It's time travel.
It's time travel.
And doesn't
She's
he say
like,
something about the building the bird?
Yeah, he says something
birdhouse.
about the birdhouse and stuff.
She's
and
like,
she's
it is
my
you.
God, it is you.
I'm gonna make out with you right now.
Yeah, he fucking like.
I'm gonna cheat on you.
She cheats on her husband with her husband. Yeah.
So I think he went there because he knew where she was at, and he was telling her, "Don't let him leave tonight."
Did he say that? I
think so.
Did he say that at the mall though?
I don't know. You might be right. I still don't quite understand, or maybe that's what he was trying to tell her.
Maybe.
And these guys get in the way because then there's this whole terrible chase scene, all this shit, and I still don't understand why these guys. So initially they showed up originally at the mall to get him,
follow
them, but then still wait to go to the house at.
Yeah, why did they go to the mall?
I don't know, man. So I think he's just trying to like, I don't know if he was trying to warn her in a way. He still wasn't telling her what, like, hey, like, how about say just don't go to the house? But maybe he needed them to show up at the house so he could stop them, right? I think that's the whole crux of this thing is like he
comes up with a plan that the viewer of the movie is not aware of,
which is I think this is like he knows he knows where these guys are gonna be, including Macomb,
right?
And he needs to stop them there,
right?
And that's why he, as much as it hurts him, he needs his wife and his other self
kind of in on it.
They need to go to the house. He needs to let all of this shit play out, but he needs to try and tell her also, keep him there. Don't let him leave
at the house. Yeah,
you know. And so
because he gets clocked as soon as his 1994 self walks out the door, he gets clocked in the back of the head.
Yeah,
and then shot.
Yeah. And future him apparently forgot all about this shit because he gets wrapped up with those dudes at some point. You're like, you knew he was knew these three guys are going to be there.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all this fucking nonsense.
But the sex scene, like you had a great question. Like, she still, you know, has this day with her 1994 version of Walker. And like then ends up at home and they fuck again, like while 2004 Walker is like outside of the house. Is he just jerking off in the bushes or some shit?
That's what I said, yeah.
He's
jerking off to himself.
He
fucking
is
his
just
wife in the past,
blasting himself.
Oh Christ! So the phone call.
Can you imagine?
No, I'd be like, "What's wrong with my balls? I've never seen it from this angle before."
This
this is 10-year younger version than me.
Why
does my fucking ass still look that way? What's going on?
Why didn't my wife tell me to fucking wax my crack?
So he waits downstairs for her to come downstairs because he knows he's going to get this phone call calling him into.
He's broken into his own house.
Yeah, and she comes down and he's like, "You have got to keep him upstairs.
You've got to keep him upstairs.
You got to keep him upstairs a little
I know
while
that
longer.
You have this precious news to tell me. But don't tell. Oh no, he says this at the mall. I know you're planning on telling me something tonight, but don't tell me anything. You remember he said?
No, I thought it was like, I know you're planning on telling me tonight. Don't say before. I don't know. I don't recall either.
Yeah.
God damn.
Anyway, stupid.
So she goes back upstairs and it's like, you can't leave. You can't leave.
Yeah.
And then future Van Damme goes dum da dum da dum outside.
Yeah, outside.
He mixes it up with these assholes at the door.
Well, he mixes it up with one dude.
Yeah, and then the other two like.
And then the other guy just like comes right behind him and is like, hey, fucking drop the gun.
Yeah, and then
ding dong.
And then Fucking McComb shows up.
Yep.
Future Van Damme's off in the woods trying to hunt someone down.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Current Van Damme 94
not helping current Van Damme and wife at all.
Yeah.
Current Van Damme, by the way, has not seen future Van Damme.
Correct.
Yet.
Yeah.
Does not know that that's going on.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah, and that's why that's not a bad plan. He was like,
Yeah.
I know that I would try. I will protect her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need to tell. Because, again, he's trying to do this in a way to not disrupt time. He's still being a dutiful time cop.
He's being the best time cop that you can possibly be.
Yes.
Time cop, one word.
So,
time cop.
So
Time cop.
this whole thing of him, she's hanging off a gutter, he's grabbing her and holding on to all this shit's going down. Eventually, I think they get back inside, and that's when then Senator McComb shows up.
Senator McComb like grabs at some point, like he's inside all of a sudden.
Because
he must have time traveled just to the inside of the house.
Yeah, I mean, he did that before.
He's
remember?
So precise.
But he did that before too, because that was when he initially when he was shot, he was laying on the ground. He looks in the window and he sees this dude with a beard holding his wife.
Right.
Because at that first time he didn't know who that was. Right.
Right. Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie or whatever. So he's in there. It eventually gets down to past Van Damme gets shot again.
Right.
He's out in the front yard laying there.
Uh-huh.
She's in the house with, this is ending up exactly like it was at the beginning, sort of.
Uh-huh.
And it's, he gets up to the bedroom. He's holding a gun. He's like, I guess I'm going to shoot her and shoot you. And none of this ever happened. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
And Van Damme.
He wants to make him, Van Damme, not exist.
That's right.
So he's going to kill past Van Damme.
And him.
Well, he's going to die. He's going to just evaporate into the ether, because if he kills past Van Damme, then future Van Damme doesn't exist.
And he gives his wife a signal like, hey, work with me here. With
He does a little countdown on his fingers. And so she jumps away. Oh, no. Hold on. Hold on.
We got to get this right.
He makes a call. Van Damme makes a call. Walker makes a call to past McComb.
Oh yeah, past McComb shows up in the house. How can I forget that?
Yeah,
he's
this is the main part.
Like
you call? He says,
me.
And past McComb says to future McComb, "You called me. You told me to be here." He's like, "I didn't fucking do that, you idiot." He calls himself an idiot.
Yeah.
So many times in this movie, it's crazy. And future McComb's just real big dickhead, dude. If I was past McComb, I'd make some changes.
Yeah, and past McComb
seems so much nicer and so much more aloof. Like he's just like, what, man?
But he is corrupted from future one by the time he shows up in that initial meeting at the beginning of the movie with the congressman, because we already know he's evil then. But this version that we've been seeing is days before that, so he's not evil yet until he meets his... See what I'm saying? Like,
no, because the meeting happens before they blow up Walker's wife.
That's right. God damn it, dude.
The senator and the national security guys.
God bless.
Before.
So he's already kind of evil then,
I guess. But then he shows up at the house. He's just like, "What are you doing?"
He's a dummy when he's at the warehouse, the chip manufacturing warehouse too,
and watches himself kill his business partner.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
so he shows up and says, "What? You called me here?" He's like, "No, I didn't." And Van Damme goes, "I called him here.
I called him here."
And then he does the black countdown. His wife like dives. Dude shoots. Through her shoulder. Van Damme
grabs past McComb.
Irish whip-ins. His past McCombs into future McCombs, and then
they touch.
And all hell breaks loose.
And they
meaning
like become
some of the worst
one.
CG you've seen in a long time happens.
Oh man! And
Lawnmower
they turn into this, like, blob of human flesh
that is completely not even remotely real looking.
It is something out of Lawnmower Man.
Yep. And then they just dissolve and just evaporate, and they're gone.
Right. But it leaves a stain on the floor. Was that a stain on the floor, or was that a shadow?
I don't know if it was a shadow, but
It looked like a
stain. And then she's out of it because she's shot.
Yeah.
And he carries her outside and puts her next.
Yeah, and McComb like planted a bomb in the
house.
Oh
fuck! How could I forget that?
So
shit?
there's a countdown, right? And we're counting down from 10 seconds.
Oh boy, one of those.
And we literally counted down out loud.
Oh yeah,
and we reached 0 before, like way before they got out of the house.
But here again, all of that was in slow mo of them going out the house. So that's
true.
why they fucking kind of fucked with you, because they're going in slow mo,
but the clock is going in regular mo.
Yeah, so there's no way of knowing. Like, they didn't have enough time. We know that for sure.
Of course not.
But he gets out in the lawn holding her. The house blows up.
Yeah.
He sets her next to his unconscious self.
Which I thought it would have been the best ending to this movie if he accidentally touched himself in that moment.
Evaporated.
And they just fucking turn into a pile of goo. Oh my God. Think how awesome that would have been.
So, and this is what I'm saying is, like, the reason he still didn't interfere with anything was he could wrap it up with a bow. So old him and old her get like unconscious basically, and old him, all he knows is these guys tried to break into the house.
Well, he saw himself though, remember?
I don't
when
remember.
They were holding him. They were holding future him there because they knocked future him out. And they threw him down on the, and remember when he's like standing outside, past Walker is standing outside the window because he shot one of the.
Oh, you're
one of the
right.
hoodlums,
That's right. Yeah.
One of the bad guys.
Yeah.
In the face.
So he did see himself.
He did see himself. So he was a little like, what the fuck's going on?
God bless. This is so.
But he's about to become a time cop, so he's got to have some fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, whoa.
Well, you would think, yeah.
Shit.
But either way,
something happened.
He comes to with his wife there, in the front yard, and all the shit that went down,
right?
And that's that. So Walker goes
back.
Cut
to future Walker coming back to 2004.
And here's the problem.
Okay.
If he was to go back,
if he changed the past,
he
would have had all the memories of his wife being alive, them having a child.
But he wouldn't.
Everything.
But
right.
But his self that he just dealt with would be in the timeline that he went back to. That's my biggest problem with this shit.
Oh yeah.
Because the stuff that was supposed to happen at the house that sent him on this journey never happened. So, in essence, he probably should have vanished right there. No? People are like, what the fuck? Like, what am I listening to right now?
That hurts.
I'm not right. So then when he comes back,
brain. I think
when he comes back,
because if you're going back into the future, you're taking your own place.
Why though?
Well,
why though? He just saved himself in the past.
I know.
So none of this shit happens that he initially went back for. And in fact,
it's hard to explain, but it totally makes sense.
Oh, fuck you. Okay, well, that's Timecop. And also, what happens with Senator? The Senator doesn't even exist because when...
Well, that's the funny thing to me. I was under the impression that if they touched, they would cease to exist on all planes, right? Like they would...
They don't. Because when he comes...
No, because when he comes back, this is another dumb thing. This did bother me a little bit because he's a time cop. He should understand that he changed the past and that things were going to be different. And he acts so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Like, why is this? Why is this that?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
What's
not
the name
shut
of this?
down.
Why isn't this place called this?
Why isn't this place called Macomb? And he's like, Macomb? It's like, because Macomb, you mean the senator that disappeared back in 1994?
Yeah. Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
I guess, I guess that's right. So
I guess I do kind of remember that.
Yeah.
And then like, it was so stupid. It was just, dude, you're a fucking time cop.
you're a time cop who already went through this, going back and having
Yes.
things changed
Yes.
before.
Quit being an idiot.
Yeah. And he, by the way, he wasn't surprised the first time when he came back and
No.
things were changed. He went,
Yeah.
He just realized, oh shit's changed. I got to convince this guy to send me back.
Mm-hmm.
And then this time he comes back thinking that nothing would be changed.
That part made zero sense. And then he goes, he gets into his car. Oh yeah, the chief goes, well, why are you still here? Because he's got to play. He's got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
Right. And so he goes, take me home. And then of course his son comes out to greet him from the house that is all fixed, not blown up anymore.
Yeah, not blown up.
And then his wife comes out and he just fucking straight up just makes out with his wife with his child in his arms. Fucking gross.
Just rebuilt that entire house too.
Yeah. Even after a C4 bomb went off in it.
Annihilated it. Turned it to dust. But they rebuilt it the exact same way.
Right. Camera pans out. End of movie. Pans out showing a super dumb looking futuristic car.
Parked in front of that.
Parked in front of a Victorian era house. Yeah. But what I suggested was like, dude, just tell your wife, hey, I just got back from the past, from that time. Remember? Fill me in, because I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I've never met this kid. Tell me all about it.
So that's what I'm telling you, dude.
I think she'd understand, though.
Yeah,
she would get it.
Yeah.
She would be like, oh, you just got back from that?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. What a day. You know?
But
like, here, let's go. Let me give you some poontang.
He didn't, because the guy in that time period wouldn't have any reason to go back. So him coming back, there would be another version
but
of
she
him.
still lived through seeing future him.
I can't, dude.
She still lived through seeing future him. Like, and all that traumatic shit happened.
She would remember all that shit if he said it. But I'm just saying, like, it's so fucking dumb, because he would either, like you said, have all the memories, but they should, like, the second he comes back, all these memories should come to him. If this is the version of him from that time period, the second he comes back, all of these memories should flood into his head.
Yes, of course. Yes.
But it's not the same him, because there would be no reason for him to go back. That version of him probably should have ceased to exist the second he changed all that shit and corrected it. The version of him that wakes up next to her is the one that continues on.
Right.
And that's a whole different thing. In fact, and thus is the problem with these fucking time travel movies. Well, and again, there's someone that's
but
already...
you got to make it interesting to watch. You got to make it, you have to add some sort of, emotional kind of anchor there,
Anyhow,
I mean, shit. If that were the case too, if what you're saying is true, then this movie shouldn't even exist.
I'm okay with that. I'm not. No, I like Tom. I like
fucking
Time Cop.
love this movie. Are you kidding me?
I like Time Cop.
Oh my god!
I just.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever.
This was the end
fun.
of Van Damme as I knew him, and that's
well,
why it makes
didn't Universal
me sad.
Soldier come out after this?
No, God, with the brother, we just watched all of his shit in chronological release order up till.
Well, that's what I was trying to think of.
You go for he teams up with this same director again. They do Sudden Death.
Oh, Sudden Death's next.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Which is
that's the one that
Die Hard in an arena.
In an arena, yeah.
And then after
I'm
that,
actually looking forward to that one too.
That just came out on 4K from Kino Lorber.
Nice.
And then after that is when things get he makes The Quest, where he directs his own movie. It's a period piece, and it's pretty much unwatchable. I think he was fucking high as a kite on, like, just out of his gourd on coke.
Yeah.
And then he does Street Fighter. That's coming up.
Yeah.
And then after that, then it really the wheels come off, and it's like
after
straight to video purgatory after that.
After Street Fighter, we have to watch like all the episodes that he was in Friends.
No, we don't. That's no. That I'm wrong, because he also does like Knockoff. He does Double Team with Dennis Rodman.
Oh God!
Those all came
That's
out in the
right.
theater. I think maybe Knockoff was his last one. There's actually some Replicant. Have you ever seen Replicant?
I want to say that I have.
With Michael Rooker.
Yeah, I want to say that I have seen that one.
That's another one up here because it's sci-fi.
Oh yeah, totally.
So we've got some decent ones to look forward to, but for me, the Van Damme I knew and loved, the martial arts Van Damme, essentially died with this.
This is where he cemented himself as like an action star rather than like a fighting movie star.
And then he never had a movie that grossed as much money. There was also some interviews where he alluded to after this and sudden death, they wanted to sign him up for a longer deal, but he priced himself out of it. And then his career kind of went off the...
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So that's at least some... I don't know that for a fact, but I've read some things that allude to that. But you know what? He came back. So, like, he's beloved.
Yeah, totally.
Like, he's made that funny...
He went through a real rough patch there for a while.
Yep.
And I think
he was in
the
second Expendables as a bad guy. He did JCVD, which was kind of a meta movie that was fun. He also did that Jean-Claude Van Johnson series, which again was a meta thing that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's done well. He's done various commercials that kind of he makes fun of Van Damme as we know him, like. So in a way, he's kind of become a little bit of a lovable Chuck Norris-esque sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is great. And it sounds like, for the most part, he wasn't Me Too'd as far as I know, unlike a Seagal.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I didn't know Seagal was Me Too'd.
Oh, yeah, he was doing something creepy, allegedly. With his, like, maid or something.
Oh, I totally believe it.
Yeah, of course.
That guy's a fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just saw some recent like interviews with him, or recent kind of a takedown video of him about how he has changed his origin story, and his lied about his nationality.
Probably he's done all
like
sorts of...
so many like real public interviews.
Yeah,
where he's said like, oh,
he's certifiable, dude.
He's 80% Mohawk Indian and shit. And then in a different interview, like 5 years later, he was like, oh no, I'm like 100% Russian, when he was starting to get all Putinized.
Well, he currently is still very much Putinized.
Yeah, for sure. He's fucking wacko. That guy is nuts.
Yeah, totally. He's gone. And it kind of bums me out because I do love Out for Justice and I do love Under Siege.
Under Siege,
and
we should watch Under Siege.
No, but it's like, we'll see. It's
a fun one.
Yeah,
it's got some stuff we could talk about.
Of course, yeah. No, it's just do we want to give this guy any sort of spotlight?
I see what
I guess
you mean.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's that whole argument of separating the art from the artist or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
I love Out for Justice. I love the one where he has where there's twins that I told Genevieve to watch, who was very disappointed in that. Marked for Death. Marked for Death.
Yeah.
Out for Blood and Under Siege, I think, are his best as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my god.
But all right, how many Blu Its?
Oh my god, I did full five in my book, bud. I've been waiting so long to see this movie again. It's fucking fantastic. I loved every second of it.
I mean, I'll give it a 4.
Yeah.
I wanted
because
to
of
say
story.
I wanted to say 3.5. No, it's because I'm going to ratchet up to 4 because it's Van Damme, and I love Van Damme.
Yeah.
I love it, but I would almost give it a 3.5.
Fight scenes were super weak.
Yeah. The action overall isn't great in this movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I probably gave it a half a point more just because it's Van Damme.
Yeah.
And, but realistically, a 3.5 or something like that. 3.5.
Okay. I'm going
still
full
like it.
5. I love
still
this
like
movie.
I still like it.
It's one of my all-time faves.
We did it.
In bad movies. We finally fucking made it. It's great.
We did it.
I'm going to buy one of those cars.
The bummer of this thing, and this is episode 100, so congratulations, we made it. The bummer of this movie is the only way that I'm aware that you can get it in the States on Blu-ray.
Yes, this is
a double pack with Bloodsport and this on the same disc.
Yeah.
But what's funny is I think Bloodsport's my favorite, and this is your favorite.
I know.
So they, in a way, packaged together a Blu-ray special for SOD. Where my favorite Van Damme movie, your favorite Van Damme movie, in a single package. That's kind of funny.
It's perfect.
But I do hope that this gets some sort of
its own release. I would love to see some special features, man.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't have, there's got to be some behind the scenes bullshit on this stuff, on this movie especially.
And as much as I make fun of the plot, or we made fun of the plot and the plot holes and that sort of shit, I bet you anything if you got Peter Hyams and the guys that they
doing a commentary,
they do have answers. I bet you anything that they had mapped this out somewhat
to hear a commentary,
because it's not that incompetent of a movie. I just think that like it in the running time and what kind of movie it is, they really couldn't explain it all.
Right.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
So
love it. 5 Blu Its.
5 Blu Its.
Yep.
What's the line?
Oh, easily.
I know what mine would be. So
there's never enough time.
There's never enough time
to satisfy a woman. Cut, Brit. 100 episodes.
There's never enough time
Never enough for what?
to satisfy a woman.